How y'all doing? This is Preacher Man. I'm being listening to another episode of Retro TV 91, and this time I'm starting off a new TV show review. I'm going to start reviewing Dragon Ball Super, and this is Dragon Ball Super Review Sunday. This is Season 1, Episode 1 of Dragon Ball Super. And what happens is we did a last time on Dragon Ball Z, and it tells about how Goku and them defeated Majin Buu, and how this is 6 months later, and it starts off with Goku tilling the ground with his tractor. And Goten comes and tells him that he got lunch for him, and he has Goten drive the tractor for him while he eats. Well, after Goku eats, he turns Super Saiyan and starts training, and Goten gets distracted and falls off the cliff with the tractor, and Goku instant transmissions to him, that way he could catch him and takes him back up the mountain. And he tells Goten that he's doing this that way he can sneak in some training while he works, and Goten tells him it's not really being sneaky because this place he's tilling has been destroyed from him training. And the reason he's training is because his father-in-law, the Ox King, has lost all his money from the fire back in Dragon Ball, and they need money, and Chi-Chi's telling him he has to work instead of training. So the whole episode, that's what Goku's dealing with. Now what's happening with Goten and Trunks, they're trying to find a wedding gift for Videl, because Gohan and Videl just got married. And they go out and they look for rings and stuff, and they decide they don't want to do that. Then they go to the perfume store because Trunks remembers Bulma using some face creamer, and they go there, but all that's too much, and they overhear this old man talking about the hot springs where they're better off just to go to the hot springs instead of spending all this money. So they go to the hot springs, and while they're at the hot springs, they fill up a jar with the water at the hot springs, but this big old python comes and attacks them. And they're trying to get the bottle away from the python, and the python's trying to eat them. And Trunks winds up fighting the python, and the python leaves. But before that, Goten was going to use a Kamehameha wave on it, but Trunks told him to stop because the hot springs are too close and it's too dangerous. So they get the water and they take it to Videl and Gohan, and Videl tries it on, and she realizes it's just regular old water, and she doesn't want to get the boys' feelings hurt, so she puts it on and says thank you. Well, after this, Mr. Satan is on the TV, Hercule, and he's accepting a reward for defeating Majin Buu, because everybody thinks Hercule defeated Majin Buu when he really didn't. Goku did. And he gets this money, and at first he goes to Vegeta, but Vegeta doesn't take it, so he goes to Goku at the end of the episode and offers this money to Goku. And at first Goku wasn't going to take it, and then Goten tells him, if you take this, Mom will let you go train at King Kai's planet. And Goku takes it, and he takes it to Chi-Chi, and she says he could go off and train, and then he instant transmissions to King Kai's planet. And then Master Roshi shows up because he heard about the money, and he tells Goku that he can buy all sorts of DVDs. I don't say what kind of DVDs, but and then Chi-Chi knocks him out, and Master Roshi runs off. And that's all that really happened on this episode, besides Beerus going around destroying planets. So Beerus goes to this one planet and gets fed by the, I guess, king of this planet, and it's not good enough, so he blows up half the planet. And the Elder Kais sense this, and they're worried about what's happening with this. And that's all that really happened on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. My question for y'all is, now that Goku's training with King Kai, what do you think will happen with that? As always, it's Preacher Man. I'll be signing out. Guys, GG is awesome. It's been another episode of Retro TV 91. See you on next time.